Good morning, people in the UK. That is, it is 7:46 on Bank Holiday Monday, the 13th of April, 2020, and two trades taken this morning. Pound yen here, all the levels drawn on the charts as usual, exact same method as always this morning, and I'm finding this more and more useful. Just use the currency strength indicator for finding the most potential likely trades rather than have to go through every currency pair. So this is a useful tool. Everyone will tell you, all the so-called professionals, don't use indicators, you don't need them, they're lagging and all that lot. Well, as long as you learn to trust your indicators, and the indicators are on my charts as a result of my trusting of my method using pure candlestick analysis. So they've been tested, if you like, over 15 years to do the job right. That alert there was just for the 1 minute chart. If I'm away from the charts, all it's showing is a crossover of the hourly 8 EMA, which on this chart is a 32 EMA, of course. You want the same EMA on every chart, then you know the score. It's 8 on the hourly, it'll be 16 on the M30, 4 15-minute candles in the H1, so it'll be 4 times 8, 32, and so on and so forth. 96 on there and 480 on there. That's the way you get the same EMA on every chart. So back to the trade. NZD was showing massively weak, pound was showing massively strong. Then I did my analysis on the charts. I'd already done my analysis on cable and was looking for a long on that. The gap, this is the gap. There is nothing. I'd drawn every level on here, H1 and so on and so forth, and there was nothing in the way of this. Look, there's the 30-minute, there's the H1, that's an H4 high as well. Sorry, that's an H4 high, that was an H4 high and a 30-minute high. There is nothing between this gap. That's why I draw these levels on, guys. So it was a no-brainer to take this trade. Okay, so that was a nice little 10-pip trade, straight to that level, and it shot up straight to the R1. That's why that's useful having those pivots on there. So I implore you to have the same stuff on here that I've got, then we can talk exactly the same language. So you've got FXI pivots, you've got this thing that just shows you your green if you're above the daily open. Handy to have, but not really used in my trading. This is spectacular. When I was holding this trade and having a little bit of drawdown, only 4 or 5 pips, I just wanted to be sure that this was still rising. The RSI histo alert, it was. The H1 was green and rising. It busted that. Remember, we talk about the break and bust, and look what happened to price. Or bust and break, should I say. It busted up and then it got broken again after the pullback, and price has not looked back. If you'd been up in the middle of the night, that would have been the trade to take. Okay, we've got the reversal in place as well. Not sure, let's get rid of that control Y. Yeah, low, high, inside bar. Forget the fact that this is a higher high. You can still do the song, but the fact is it's broken with engulfing. I think I might have talked about that. That is a valid reversal signal. I mean, everyone knows engulfing and outside bars are massive signals of change of direction. So once we've got the pullback again, remember, support once broken or resistance once broken will act as support. Well, this little inside bar is clearly a resistance level, and it does look like the price might have come back and tested that. We can put a level on there and see what happened. Yeah, it looks like that candle's tested the low there, and then we had another little push down. This is pound New Zealand is a massive mover, so you will get spikes, so you need to be careful. And that's what happened. They've spiked it around, pushed it up there, and all in all I should think that's about a 20 pip move. I'm not going to bother with this one much more. Cable was my first choice because US dollar was showing weak up here, as it still is, and pound was showing strong here, as it still is. And I did tell you there was a load of support and resistance levels here. They're all useful because they give you an idea of what you've got to get through if you consider going further. So I won't go into too much detail with this one because there's so many lines, but every line needs to be drawn on your chart. You know, from the monthly, you can see you've got a massive clear area there. The weekly, you've got highs above you, so you need to be aware of those and consider your trade. The weekly is telling us that we'd broken a resistance here. We'd done a pullback all last week, and look what happens. And the previous week's was green, so that's a good signal as well, good sign. The daily, we'd actually reversed high, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, and close. Then we'd had a pullback day, the red here, you can't see it on the chart, but that shows you the pullback, and now we're in a continuation. And there's the bust and break on the daily chart. That's why this thing is so good. I'm going to make a video about this thing. It's free, RSI Histo Alert. I've put links in some of my comments on YouTube. There's the bust, there's the pullback, there's the continuation. It broke up through that high there. Bust, bust and break. Bust, bust and break. And that's massive momentum. That's why I like these. They're like a traffic light thing. You're not going to go short when it's not going to go long when it's red, but when it breaks that and so on and so forth, the bust and break, we're good. This would have looked totally different first thing this morning, of course, because this move, there is nothing at all to have caused this move. So you tell me, all these so-called clever traders telling you can't trade bank holidays and holidays, and there we are in the middle of a slow morning, yet something's happened. Absolutely fantastic. And this move, this will make you laugh when you see the trade I actually took. So let's get down to H1. H1, bust and break prior to my trade. M30. All the candlestick analysis was done as well. All of these support levels below were above the hourly ATMA as well. So, you know, it's a no-brainer to potentially go long. But that's why I laughed and I was embarrassed about this. This is crazy. Why has the pound done that? Probably something to do with the announcement about OPEC and oil, I should think. But I'm not really I'm not a fundy trader, one iota. So this was used, let's slip the trade onto the chart. Oops. Time for the 8 AM Billy breakout. That's always set just to get myself ready for that 15-minute breakout candle. I don't trade that so often, and I certainly don't think I'll be trading it today. But Billy TT on Forex Factory, fantastic trader. So is Lem, and so is Claudia One on that thread. Dig it out and have a read. It's worth the effort, guys. So, yeah, I wonder how all these so-called trading gurus have done on Twitter this morning. This is the 5-minute chart. I was going to drag the trade onto the chart, wasn't I? So there it is there. So how embarrassing is that? I get out of the trade just when it absolutely goes to the moon. I got my 6 pips net of spread. So, you know, if I wanted to lie to you guys, I'd just tell you I'd got that move there, 46 pips. But, and look how it's used the R1 and R2. I mean, this is no coincidence, you know. People use these things, and there's the 125 level up there, the big round number. What does M1 tell us inside here? So, M1, there's a reversal there. High, low, lower, high, lower, low, low, high, higher, low, higher, high. Not sure whether that, no, that wasn't the break because obviously that's gone down, that's lower. So low, high, higher, low, higher, high until this broke here. Flat top candles are interesting as well. They suggest that there's absolutely no selling in the market at all. I know it's only a 1-minute chart, but on an hourly or an H4, that is a good sign as well for longs. And then we've broken the 20 level with this candle by the looks of it. all I'm doing is describing the way you could have traded the breaks between the two pivot lines there, R2 and R3, and then, you know, it's gone further still. So what can I say, guys? 2 trades, 2 winners. My job is done by before 8 o'clock on a bank holiday Monday morning. Trading is a job, guys. Treat it like that and it will treat you well. And this isn't the instant road to wealth, guys. It's going to take a lot of hard work, but I'm prepared to help you. Ask me questions. I'll try to answer them on YouTube by video. So if you like this, please like it and subscribe. The more people we can get involved in this, as far as I'm concerned, the better. Because we all learn. We all learn together. There is so much more to this stuff. And just one last one, just to tell you how I draw my ascending trend lines and descending trend lines. I connect the lows, the higher lows in an uptrend where the price breaks the high. So that's a valid lower high or valid support level. And then when these fail to attack these levels, I mean this ascending trend line here, when you get a new lower high, higher low that breaks a high, that is a valid trend line touch. So you can see now we can build a roadmap for the reversal. Oh, I didn't mean to move that, but it doesn't matter, we can delete it now. So that valid level of support trend line will potentially get tested when this price, if this price decides to reverse. So it can be used to keep you out of trades, unless, you know, because you don't want to be trading into that. It can be used as targets if you get valid reversal with the 3 candle reversal, and so on and so forth. This one gets broken, of course, price is weakening off. So all these different attributes to this method all come together. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a great Bank Holiday Monday if you're in the UK.